In order to become a vendor at a bird or fish show, the first thing you need is whatever you're gonna have on your table. Hello my fins and feathers family, welcome back to another awesome video. Today I'm going to teach you how to become a bird or fish vendor. We will be going over everything you need to get started, what you should be looking for throughout your journey, and how to have the best show possible as a bird or fish vendor. You should probably stick around because you definitely don't want to miss this. One of my personal secrets is that I actually have my supplier pack whatever I order as tight as humanly possible. You see, even sticking toys and food bowls and other items in nest boxes in order to make them fit better, so I can still get all of my awesome supplies and save a little bit on the shipping cost. And I'll just go ahead and show you guys some of the things that I like to bring to the bird and fish shows. We got all the stuff you could ever need for any bird. Alright? And we ended up taking up a bedroom in my house just so we could do this. So I hope you guys are happy because honestly, I couldn't be happier. I am so excited to be able to give my birds everything they could possibly ever want or need and be able to share it with the community like you guys. And what exactly did we get, you may ask? Well, that's all right here. From cages to nest boxes to toys to perches to food and water bowls. I mean, we truly have it all. These nest boxes definitely take the cake as my absolute favorite product that we've gotten in so far. They're what I use for my parakeets and cockatoos and all other birds to be able to breed and give us some really beautiful babies that we can share with you guys every month. That smaller nest box is really good for finches, parakeets, lovebirds, any of the smaller type birds, even borks. And then the larger nest box is really good for your cockatoos, conures, quakers, and other medium-sized birds. We also have all different cages in stock, so don't be coming up with the excuse, oh, I don't have a cage, I can't get the bird. Here is your solution. Now you don't have an excuse and you can get both. Now this largest cage is going to be a 24 by 16 by 16. And it is going to be my favorite cage that we have in stock here. One reason being that it's the largest cage, so it gives our birds the most possible space. It's also great for housing, your parakeets, finches, cockatoos, conures, as it can really hold a group of small birds or a couple of mediums. This one comes with a food bowl, a water bowl, and a perch. And this right here is the 20 by 14 by 14. This is going to be our second largest cage that we have. And it is perfect for a couple parakeets or a single cockatiel or a single conure. This cage also comes with a couple food bowls and a perch. Next up, we have this more vertical cage, and this cage is great for transporting a cockatiel or conure or quaker or other medium-sized bird, or even keeping a couple of smaller species birds like parakeets and finches inside. It has a very nice hook on top if you wanted to hang it on something, and it's just a really pretty cage. Next up here, we have our small travel cage. These are perfect to transport any smaller bird, maybe even a medium-sized bird, a small distance. And it's a great option for people who don't want their new bird to be transported in a box. And it will come with a food bowl, a water bowl, and a perch as well. Next up, we have our tiny travel cages, and these guys are small, so really good for transporting a single finch or a single parakeet. Again, for people who don't want to take their bird home in a box. And lastly, I guess we can throw this in with our cages group. This guy is a small container for transporting baby birds. Now, as we don't provide our baby birds to the public, I do use these cages a ton to transport baby birds, so I know other vendors and other people do too, and that's why we have them available. And now on to the selection of perches and toys and food and water bowls. Starting up top, these rope perches of 3 different sizes are super heavy duty and great for all birds. My lovebirds love trying to tear them up, and the key word is trying because they are so heavy duty. Speaking of good quality, these large toys are some really strong, powerful, long-lasting toys, especially up against the bigger birds. Now these 3 up top here are going to be your prime toy and centerpiece of the whole cage. And after you found a toy that your bird likes, it's always a great idea to provide extra food bowls and water bowls in case you ever have to go out of town for a day, or if you just want to give them more food and water. Here's a couple of smaller toys that the finches, parakeets, lovebirds, and forks like to use. The chime toy is super nice, and the parakeet swing is a fan favorite by the parakeets, of course. We have extra perches of all different kinds, so no matter the size of the feet of your birdie, all the way from finch to Quaker, we got you covered. And as always, we are always happy to provide the best, most hand-tame and friendly baby birdies like these parakeets and cockatoos every single month. It's important that if you want to be a successful bird vendor, that you bring a little bit of everything. So we just dove into all the stuff, including toys, cages, and all that kind of stuff that we bring for our tables, but it's also important that you might have some beautiful birds that you can bring to the show as well. Now here are just some of the little things that I bring, such as my Quakers. You can see my birds, I like to keep them super hand-tamed, super nice, because, I mean, if I were buying a bird, I would probably want them super hand-tamed and super nice. So, bringing birds that are super hand-tamed and super nice, like these cockatoos and Quakers, are just the golden ticket, in my opinion. Birds that are hand-fed and hand-raised and typically played with more than the average bird do tend to sell a little bit better at the shows in terms of selling a little quicker and for a little bit higher prices as well. And then, of course, having a few different options of birds is always the best way to go, because then if someone doesn't like my Quakers, then they can like a cockatiel. If they don't like a cockatiel, then maybe they'll like a bork. But whatever they want, I want to be able to provide it for them. And you're looking at these borks, these guys are very uncommon. And so are these English parakeets. Yes, it's very important that you can try to find a couple rarer items. You know, not just your normal everyday green parakeet that many vendors may or may not have at certain shows, but finding an array of different colors and patterns and different types of birds. So although my normal green parakeet is super hand-tamed and super nice and will sell very easily at the shows, I always like to kind of mix it up a little bit, you know, bring in some white ones, some blue. Realistically, it's whatever my parents of these babies are having. So whatever the bird parents decide to throw every month is what I like to bring to the shows. And I promise you, the more tame they are, the more exotic colorations they are, the more they'll go for, the faster you'll be able to find them a new home, all that kind of stuff. And if you're new to this, you may ask, oh, well, how should I price my bird? Well, to give you a quick example, this beautiful Lutino peach-faced lovebird just came out of the nest, has been eating very, very well as I've been hand-feeding it. And so I have the full confidence that this will find a new home for at least double the price and in half the time as a normal green peach-faced lovebird that is not very nice. And you may ask, oh, well, don't you ever run out? And the answer's yes and no, because I made sure that I have enough mature birds that are producing for me, or I can just continue pulling more and more babies out of the nest each and every month. Whether that's the parakeets, the cockatoos, or any other bird. What birds should I sell? There's a very, very easy answer to that. You should be working with whatever bird or fish that you just really, really like. For me, over the years, I've found that parakeets and cockatoos are just really, really easy to breed. Quaker, conure, and lovebird babies are super fun to play with, and bork babies are just absolutely stunning. And so back to preparation. The evening before, I will most likely bring up and set up all of the cages with all of the birds that I will be bringing to the show the next morning. So in the morning, I can just wake up, grab everything else I need, and load the car. You can see, I like to stack all of my bird cages as condensed as possible. And I know that there's some extra stuff in the car too, but really making sure that your bird cages are as close as possible to each other really prevents them from going anywhere. And after you arrive at your show location, it may look something like this, with a bunch of different tables, a bunch of different vendors setting up, and just an exciting time preparing for the bird show. And before each show, there is usually a couple hours where vendors can come and set up and get all ready. And so during that setup time, I am doing everything that you see right here. I'm putting all of the birds on the table really nicely positioned so people can see them, with large price tags right in front of everything so nobody gets confused. Sometimes lining them up by age, sometimes lining them up by how tame they are, sometimes lining them up by mutation. It all depends, and you can set up your table or tables really however you like. Personally, I always like to do a little walk around like this right before each and every one of the shows, just so I can see, like, if I was coming in as a customer, how would I see this table? What would I want to do if I was on the other side to make this, neater and straighter and more presentable for the average person that just walks by the booth? So figuring out exactly where you want to put everything is totally up to you. You can see here I go from like large cages down to small cages, and then get into like everything else that we have, like the toys. If you saw those tarps behind the table, those are hiding our beautiful borks. But anyways, here I just laid out all the toys from smallest dollar amount to largest dollar amount, just in time for the show to start and for people to come in and see all the awesome stuff that we have. At another show, and I feel like every show I just set up a little bit differently than the last one. Always trying new things, always trying to put different things in different places to see how it all works out. But moral of the story, just have a bunch of the stuff that you like to have for yourself so you can supply them to the community and make it organized, going from like lower price to higher price, or by size, or however you like to organize your stuff. So for me, I'll usually section things off, like toys in one area, birds in another area, cages in another area, as you can pretty much see throughout these videos as a general gist. And then within those sections, I would like to organize them from like least price to highest price, let's say. So anyone who's coming by your table can see clearly exactly what you have at exactly what price points, and just be able to pick exactly what they need for their home setup. Another question you may ask is, how much table space do I need? Well, if you're a newer vendor, one table is usually good enough for a couple cages and a little bit of extra stuff. And then of course, as you get more experience, you can continue adding a second table, a third table, a fourth table, a fifth table, a sixth table. All right, I get it. Not everyone's as crazy as I am. I get it. But seriously, most vendors do have one or two tables just like this, where they set up a few cages and some stuff and just have a great show. As you can see, I just brought some Quakers and some toys, and the rest of the stuff I actually already supplied to this location. But most of the time I will actually load up a trailer and bring a whole trailer full of stuff to a show, especially if it's out of town. So you can see here we got the birds, then the toys, then the cages. So key points to becoming a vendor include preparing and organizing what you're going to bring, showing up to the venue early, setting up your tables as organized as possible, making sure you're all set up and ready to go by the time the show starts, and just having a great selection of everything you are bringing, as well as the printouts, the scissors, tape, boxes to send birds home in, fish bags, rubber bands, lights, and anything else, like food or drinks. I like to have all of my prices neatly organized with all of the stuff that's available exactly where it's supposed to be. And just make sure that your table looks as presentable as humanly possible. I would say that this is now looking good. And once you get all set up, well, it's showtime. So right at 10 a.m. or whenever your bird fair starts, expect a line out the door of some awesome enthusiasts who can't wait to get their hands on what you got. Here's a few pictures of what a normal show typically looks like. This here is showcasing our Fins and Feathers Fest in Round Lake, Illinois. And you could just see all the tables set up, all the happy hobbyists who are finding exactly what they've been looking for all month. And everyone just having an absolute blast and creating some amazing memories just like this one. Happy birthday to you! Thanks to your mom for all your continued help at every single show. We love you very much, and let's eat some cake. So overall, it's just a blessing to be able to celebrate some amazing occasions, create some truly unforgettable memories, and just simply bring joy to everybody I get to see that day, especially when friends decide to show up and want to play with some birdies. It's just a really fun day filled with family, friends, and also you get the opportunity to bring some beautiful birdies home for yourself. And I've been saying this the whole time. Bring a birdie home. If you want to bring this one or you want to bring this one, come to the show, find out what you like, and bring a birdie home. I will be the first one to admit that if there is a bird I see at the show that I really, really like, and I don't have it yet, well, then it's coming home with me. Seriously, don't be afraid to get the bird of your dreams, or a couple of birds of your dreams, because you need 2 of them to even breed anyways. So get a couple birds of your dreams. Get whatever you like that makes you happy, because realistically, if you like it, there's a high chance that other hobbyists are gonna like them too. And that makes it super easy to spread your babies to the community. And now everything that I have on my tables at the shows, I like to source from either other bird or fish shows, through all the other amazing vendors you'll meet, getting some wholesale stuff online, and maybe even a couple things from Facebook Marketplace. And to make sure you're as prepared as possible to become a vendor, make sure you have everything that you're gonna wanna bring packed up and ready to go the night before, and make sure you get to the venue nice and early so you have plenty of time to set up and just enjoy your time being a vendor at a bird or fish show. So if you like this video and want to get more into the hobby as just a hobbyist or as a vendor, please feel free to come to the Fins and Feathers Fest. We have just announced several new dates and several new locations for the Fins and Feathers Fest. So please make sure you get all of these new dates and locations into your calendar as soon as possible. Look for all of our events on Facebook. Join our Facebook group to stay up to date on all news and upcoming events. And as always, I will see you there.